Hello, this is Simon Chilambo here. I'm presenting here my newest and 8th book, Machona Poetry, Rage and Slam in Tigersburg. This is a very beautiful book. Nice cover. You know, it's very beautiful, well done. And I'm very happy and very pleased with this book, very proud of it. I feel emotions building up as I speak here, and I'm proud not only of the work it's the book itself, but the effort that has gone into it. My effort as a writer and as a poet and as an independent writer and publisher. I do everything myself, especially stuff that doesn't necessarily require really some top class professional touch, if one can afford it. It so happened that this time I had a windfall a few months back, then I could afford professional touch. I'm still in the woods financially, and the corona crisis has not been great help to many of us, so but this time I could afford to have a professional graphic designer, Lavin, do the work here, and then the artwork done by Doc D, and this is a very special collaboration, of 3 people, who know each other, who care about one another, and would like to support one another in this endeavors, the specific branches that we specialize, each on our own. So it is a very exciting book for me, and it's really quality, it's class, and the typesetting, and all that. This is as good a book as you can get, and it's in color, if you can see, and there is the title there, Machona Poetry, Rage and Slam in Tigersburg. It's a beautiful. There's your table of contents there. Don't know if you can see it. I think it's zooming in. The camera is doing some great work there. And it has what I call the movements. This is movement 1 and up to 5. The movements, is about how I decided to organize the book, because the pieces here is stuff that I've written since I came. Some of the stuff that I've written since I came to Norway in August 1988. To the present, there's many pieces that I have done. This is just a selection, and as it is right now, I can see a second volume coming soon. Some of the pieces that I have written are in my private archive in South Africa, so it's going to be exciting to see what happens. And talking about the movements, I will read here in the introduction part. A paragraph here says that arranged in alphabetical order, the book's 5 rage and roll movements sections reflect a part of the different perspectives that my life's journey in and around Oslo gives me. that concerning how I perceive and experience personal and world events every single day that comes and goes. Also, major good or bad social and natural occurrences everywhere on the planet, if not in the universe. Oslo has been an unexpected, invaluable platform for the continual honing of my intellectual and creative faculties. Alphabetically presented as well, each piece of poetry in the movements is a metaphorical pause station for thought and reflection. Amongst others, I crush balonies, I demystify falsities, I dream, I empathize, I praise, I provoke, I tease to inspire thought and action towards a better understanding of the self and one's place in the universe. That way we can better serve humanity, each according to their strengths and proclivities, and not in the least, including our individual and collective values as planetary social beings. Although it's not beyond me, I've received training in this, from, my school days, secondary school, high school, if you like, and university, and through various forums, writing clubs, and so on. I don't plan my writings. It's not in me to sit down and and think about what I want to write or write about, and start to think and plan. I don't work like that. It's not me. It's not my style. That's because my mind is working all the time. It's in my mind is racing all the time. I am conscious, of my surroundings. This is where my inspiration comes from, and stuff that I hear and see and smell, feel, and so when I sit down and write, it's because I have already figured out, I already have the inspiration in my head. And it may in another presentation I've said that it may it could have been something that's been a thought process that's been going on for many years, or it could be an inspiration on a spur of the moment that brings back memories, thoughts, associations, and then the idea comes in, now write. But the point I'm trying to make is that when I sit and write, it's already formed. Basically, the foundations of the story or the poem, they've already worked themselves out. So when I sit down and write, it just flows on its own. And my job, is to now work with structure, and all that, follow grammar, the rules, etc. And so that's how it works. I have I wouldn't say I have no control over it. Also another one is that how I write. It's also from a point of view of being challenged or requested. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So somebody makes a request, can you write such a poem, can you write such a piece? If I'm in the right state of mind, in the right creative flow, it will work. More often than not, it does work on the here and there. It might not work, or or it might take longer, you know, than as per request or suggestion. It might, you know, it might materialize, but it might not at the same time, you know. So for example, I mean, prior to this one here, book number 7, COVID-19, I've mentioned also that, you know, that I was challenged, you know, by a friend of mine, a colleague, you know. So and you know, right about COVID-19, you know, I really said, you know, where how has COVID-19 impacted your life? You know, write a small book. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, big major work, you know, and all that, you know. And I did it, you know. So that's how I work. I mean, so far. So I'm very happy. You know, it works for me. Having said that, I would like to read a piece for you from the book, and that's called SEPONONO, Magnificent Girl. This one of the most exciting pieces, you know, that I've worked with so far. A few months back, I was moving from one job to the next, and I had 15 minutes, you know, in between. And these are two very distinct, you know, assignments, you know, that require, you know, very big adjustments, you know, mentally, emotionally, you know, physically, you know, yeah, spiritually, if you like, you know. So so I get to a tram, I get to the tube station, the metro, and as I was just at like 1 minute or 2 minutes maybe before the train would arrive to take me to two stations away, 3 minutes away, you know, that. And as I look across on the other side, you know, of the station, I see this very beautiful woman that a friend of mine that I hadn't seen for many months. And I look at her, I find, you know, this, wow, has she lost so much weight? And as I look closely, you know, as I look even more closely, I find, no, that's not the lady. But this young girl could have been, you know, mid-late teens, looked so much like this lady friend of mine, you know. It was incredible. The lady has no children, so that couldn't have been her daughter, you know. And if she was a niece or somebody, I would probably have, chances are I would have known, you know, the child before. But then this is very fascinating for me, you know. And this girl is looking down, of course, you know, sign of the times, you know, in her phone, and there's something about her, you know. I see this it's like an aura about her, and as I'm looking at her, this great fascination, I hear, you know, a song, a sound, you know, that, you know, that comes from, you know, my childhood days, you know. And the train comes, and I follow this song. It's just it's just vocal, and as I'm listening, you know, the words, and I understand, wow, this is a song, you know, in praise of this girl. And by the time the train gets to the second station, 3 minutes later, the poem was done. And then again, I go back, you know, I mentally, you know, I prepare myself. Okay, good man, you're going to work now. Forget this nonsense. And So I go and do my work. 4 hours later, I'm home, and I open my machine, bang, 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 and the poem was done. The presentation that I make today is dedicated to my mother here, Miemie, we call her, who turned 8 years old yesterday, Friday, and she's not my biological mother. She's my best friend's biological mother, grandmother of the 2 children, the twins that we made a presentation dedicated to the last presentation of poetry recital to a few days ago. And Anele is my best friend, my brother, her last born. It so happened that we were raised, in such a way that when we, from childhood, when we meet and make new friends, it's obligatory, that we take them home, present them to our families, our parents, our siblings, if the siblings, especially the parents, the mother, the father, and if they're happy, it's sealed. We are friends for life. Time will prove, if we will indeed remain friends for life. We've known each other 44 years now, so and our relationship is still going very, very strong. So it's with great pleasure and honor to dedicate, this reading this poem here to our mother. Happy birthday, mother, and I love you very much. We all love you very much, so may you, like we say in Sesotho, khokhobe SEPONONO. Hela thobe ngwane mosehlana re tisa hao sa nyametsa dihlahla le dihlahlana difate haufinyane le wena ka be di falla ka ntshwa di sa fuhlwa ho ja metso ya tsona e ne ile maoto a tsona yelo bounu magauta fatlo sa hao se phatsi matsatsi le tshiwe ke marumatshu o le ka nqane wa tsela ke le ka nqena nna marothodi ya pula le ona rohanye anketsa ke boneka ke tla foufala le ai ka baneng ka paneng ha ba jana ba ithoka ba bina mangae ba ipoka mahlale mahlono le bonatla ba bona ba qoqa ba qapellana ditshomo ba letsa Basotho ba bua ka kgarebetse ntle ditjhabeng diponono tse dikoti magameng ba tsholo ba so be mahlo ba soka ba o bona hobane wena he kgarebeng tsohle naheng ena na botle ba hao buka ba kwala moya ba fellwe ke mantswe ibe dimumu ibe dithoto dibupua e ka magallanyana maloting thabeng tse kgolo tse kwenyang mafifi a masiu naledi di benya kapa tjhe ngwedi e thwasitse kapa e sa thwasa ke a o kopa se bahami se hloho se ntebe hobane ke tla fellwa ke moya pelo ya ka emetsi ke we ke shwelle monana e ga ke fihla mahodimong ke ipolela ho ntate modimo ke tla re morena ka ke ile ka shwa ka ikepela ke bolauwe ke rato la ngwane motle ditjhabeng seponono se dikoti magameng ha ho tse ding ke inela atlentsa ha ntate thato ya ha iphetehe amen hallelujah a hlompho le tlotlo morenaka.